guys, welcome to, this isn't a movie review, we are reviewing
Yellowjackets. This is the season 3 finale, episode 10 if you will. We're getting this kicked off because I'm going to do a whole bunch of things across the summer, kicking off another channel. We're going to bounce things back and forth between this channel and that channel. Anyway, over the summer I'm going to do a different thing on every different character from the Yellowjackets. We're going to discuss some theories going into season 4. So it's probably like a year until season 4 comes out. So we're going to do a whole lot of stuff Yellowjackets related because it's one of my favorite shows. So this is a recap of the season 3 finale, and then we're going to discuss a few theories for season 4, but we'll get into the theories in a minute. Let's do the recap first. If you haven't watched the episode, do not watch this until you have.
Go watch the episode, then come back.
This episode answers a lot of questions. I know some people watch the Dork and Carrot Top show. Every one of their theories have been wrong, so we're gonna discuss what the actual true answers are to that. So let's get into that because it answers a lot of questions. It starts out with Natalie finding out that Misty destroyed the thing, and she doesn't tell on her.
The transmitter, the radio.
So that's back in the teen timeline. Then really quickly it flashes to the modern timeline, and there's Lottie talking to younger Lottie, telling her they haven't missed out on anything, it's not too late. And then she goes to the stairwell where, well, we'll get to that in a minute. Then it shows Shauna and Ty in the van. They're going to bury Vanessa. Ty cuts out her heart and eats it.
It was so gross.
She says, she's been trying to forget, but now she's going to remember everything. So I think she's hell-bent on revenge here.
Mm-hmm. For sure, because the love of her life is no more. So she, no holds barred, I think.
So the next thing that you see is Misty shows up at Callie's school, and there is a confrontation where Misty has discovered that, here's our first answer. Callie is, in fact, Lottie's murderer.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Apparently, she went to get the tape because when she got kicked out of the house, she took the tape with her. And so Callie went to get the tape back, and she starts asking her a whole bunch of questions. Lottie gets real weird with her, as Lottie does sometimes get weird, and starts basically telling her she's the child of the wilderness. It took the baby, Shauna's original baby, and it gave them her. And it wants her, and blah, blah, blah. And Callie's like, I ain't trying to hear this shit. Right.
Out.
And
she
gives her a shove. She didn't mean to kill her. But that's what happened. So once she fell down the steps, she retrieved the tape, and she went back. So, I'm sorry, I usually do not have notes by my side.
That's my department.
But we're literally making this video. We finished watching the show literally like 7 minutes ago. So we wanted to hurry up and get this one out here for you guys that were curious to get some answers and get into the discussion. So, yeah, I've got some notes by my side that I do not usually use. Because you know me, I'm a free flower most of the time.
I like notes.
So the next thing that we see is Callie tells Jeff that he did it. So then it goes back to the wilderness, and Van and Misty talk about the radio getting fixed, and which is strange because I didn't know Van had any involvement in it. And Aquila finds all her animals dead. So a bunch of crap going on back in the wilderness.
It's sad.
So Natalie suggests maybe the wilderness wants us to leave after they find all the dead animals. And that's where some of the things from the trailer start coming to fruition. And that's where Lottie comes up with the idea. Yeah. All those people we killed, the coach, the scientist, Cody, they were all our enemies. We have to give it one of ourselves. We have to have another hunt. So that's where that all came about from.
Them hunts are savage, too.
Yeah. So, one important thing I want to mention. This is another one of the theories they got wrong over there on the other show. They suggested that maybe Crystal never existed. She was just a figment of Misty's imagination. Well, from conversation in this episode, it proves true that Crystal did, in fact, exist. She was a real person.
Yup.
So, anybody who believed that theory, that one's gone. Okay?
So now, wasn't that the first killing, really, is when Misty pushed her off the ledge?
No, the first,
I can't remember.
the first killing, the first death was Jackie.
Well,
Right.
yeah. I
Right.
just meant, like, the first, like, not accidental.
But yeah, and then the next day, the very next one was Javi. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So the next thing they're showing is Van and Ty talking about stacking the deck to make Hannah pull the queen
Yup.
so that she's the one that gets hunted.
Yup.
Uh,
But
so,
Van, at first, was trying to play fair. And then the other girl, I forget her name, said, you know, if one of us is dead, then what? Who cares if we play fair? You know?
right.
So that kind of made Van
Vanessa
go,
was struggling with her conscience.
Vanessa, thank you.
And Thaisa said nobody's going to talk about how we played fair or was a good sport or anything like that. So Vanessa does stack the deck, but after a few people draw their cards, here comes Shauna across the circle to switch positions. Which it wasn't supposed to go to her anyways. But anyway, because of that, Mari ended up drawing the queen card. So guess what? Another theory that they got wrong that I've had right since the very beginning.
Yes, he's been saying this since
I have
day
said
one.
from the beginning that is
Yep.
Mari.
Yep.
So, ding, one for me. So yes, Mari is Pit Girl. For anybody who needs me to spell that out for you.
Yeah.
Mari is, in fact, the Pit Girl.
Yup.
So, as the hunt begins, Travis really starts to taunt Shauna. She talks some shit about his brother, and they have a back and forth, and then he kind of taunts her and says sometimes he even channels Jackie's energy and starts really, kind of putting her in her place. Then the hunt begins. They're separated, and the hunt begins. So then it flashes back to modern times. And Shauna comes to visit Misty. And Misty, who is usually and goes with the flow, she's gotten hard.
I like Misty.
She's gotten hard. So then she basically tells her, she's basically taunting her too, only in the modern timeline, about how, Callie murdered Lottie, but then again, she didn't have a very good example as a parent, how to make friendship, and
It's kind of like she said
about how
everything
why
that-
Jeff left and all this and that. She's really getting her good.
It's like everything that had been bottled up that she had been wanting to say and didn't really have the balls to say. She's finally like, F it, I don't care, I'm telling her. And I like that.
And then she tells Shauna to leave, and she's got a friend at the police department. She'll file a restraining order if that's what's necessary, and this and that and the other. So Shauna leave, and then it shows Ty in the modern time. She's having dinner with Misty, and Ty's blaming Shauna for literally everything, not just in the modern timeline, but for back in the day. And they're very concerned that Shauna's trying to be the sole survivor. So I think, well, I guess I can go ahead and throw it. I think it's more than obvious, it's not really a theory, that Ty and Misty are going to be teaming up in this next season to try and bring Shauna down. An important note, though, I've blamed Walter for all this all along.
Yeah.
And guess who's creeping outside the restaurant, listening in to what they're saying? Good old Walter, Elijah Wood. Good.
I like him.
So I'm still not certain that I'm completely wrong about that.
When he pulled up, I was like, stalker much? So he's just creeping in the car.
So then it flashes back to the teen timeline, and it answers the question that I don't think anybody got right in their theorizing. I'm sure some of you are going to say you said it, and some of you probably did, and a lot more of you will probably say you did than actually did. But yeah, we all found out. Here's your final answer. Shauna is the Antler Queen.
Yup.
So let's talk about the theories. We're going to go through these real quick because I really want the theories on this show to be pretty short. So I want to open up some dialogue for some input, and then we'll do some whole theory shows throughout the summer while we're waiting for season 4
patiently
to begin. So yeah, naturally, I think we're going to see Misty and Taissa teaming up. Shauna remarked at the very end of the episode that she misses being the queen and a warrior and all this stuff. So even though she's already done some pretty damn twisted things in the modern timeline, I think we're going to see a lot more
worse,
crazy shit coming from Shauna. I'm not sure what to think about what Jeff's going to do. You know, he's put up with a lot of crap and he's sick of it, but at the core of it, he does love Shauna, so maybe he'll get back on her side and maybe he'll become just as damn crazy as she is. Because women will do that to a man.
Okay, that's another show. But I think that the whole family is in it so deep that they can't really abandon one another because they've got so much dirt on each other too. But I do think you're right in the fact that he loves her. And I think deep down she loves him and wants to be a family, like a housewife, but she just can't because of all the ish, you know. I don't know.
Well, let's discuss some of the past theories that still could exist.
Okay.
Because I kind of like a combination of a couple of them.
Okay.
There's the whole copper mining theory. Most people are aware of.
Yep.
That they think, and that's where hallucinations are coming from, and this and that and the other. And then there's a whole different theory that thinks perhaps Lottie's dad planned this whole thing, get rid of her so he didn't have to deal with her anymore, or for any number of reasons, because he's a rich dude, and he did hire the airline. I think what could be possible is both things, and he's a very wealthy man. Maybe he owns these copper mines, okay?
Possibly.
I think some of that could exist. And that not all of that is my own original idea. I picked that up from bits and pieces of other people's theories and kind of glued them together into my own thoughts. I think next season, they say there's supposed to be 2 more seasons. I'm interested to see how that works.
How are they going to stretch that? Yeah.
Well, it will be really interesting to see.
So
but one thing is, one thing is some writers, they write a show, they're not really sure where they're going with it, and they make it up as they go.
Yeah.
But the writers of this show had a clear plan of how they wanted the show to go.
Oh, yeah.
So if they say there's going to be 5 seasons, I trust that there will be.
5 seasons by now.
My theory on who will be the sole survivor, I pick Misty. I pick Misty. She's smarter than all of them.
Yes.
She's sneakier than all of them. And when she needs to be, she can be just as vicious as Shauna. She didn't have qualms about locking that fake reporter lady up in her basement and then poisoning her cigarettes and killing her. So, yeah. Don't discount little Misty.
Don't underestimate
Don't
Misty.
discount little Misty.
Yeah.
I think they are going to get rescued right off the bat in the beginning of the next episode.
Yeah, the ending was good.
So I think then we're going to have 3 different timelines. I think what we'll have is the 2 timelines we have now, the teen timeline and the modern timeline. But then I think we'll have a catch-up timeline from the point where they were rescued that catches you up to where they started in the modern timeline.
Right.
You get what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's definitely something that's going to happen, and that's going to be a way that the writers spice things up and end up integrating a 5th season somehow. I think we're going to learn some more interesting things that we do not know yet about all these characters, which is why we're going to do a deep character dive on each character throughout the summer here. So here's what I would like. I would like to know what your theories are. Please comment below and let me know. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everybody's comments and do an entire theory show. Anything that I can disprove so that we don't have to keep going down that road, I will disprove. Anything that can be proved, I'll prove it. And everything else, we'll just have to wait for season 4 to see if we're right or not, right?
Yeah.
So, I think that would be a lot of fun. Please, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe to this, because hit the bell, because I don't want you to miss the updates on these character shows. And when I put together this theory show, I think it's going to be a really good one. So yeah, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. I'm not trying to make money off you. I'm just trying to keep you informed, okay?
Right.
So thank you for watching our first coverage to date of the Yellowjackets. This may stay on this channel. It may go over to my new channel I'm starting called Sensei Says, or we may pop it up on both of them. We'll see.
Can I add something?
Why, of course you can, my dear.
My own personal, I think all these girls are capital CUNTS's, okay? But,
the wilderness will do that to a woman.
I guess, my God. And they're all so, frenemy and everything, but Misty,
you have to be to survive.
I get that, only the, strong survivor, whatever, but I think Misty is going to be the last woman standing. Or maybe Taisha, because she got some witchcraft on her side. So
I don't know about everybody's theories that think that these are going to split into 2 groups, one who wants to stay and ones who want to be rescued. I think we saw a little bit of that in this last episode. And I do know that the show was based off Lord of the Flies, so I would think...
Yeah, it's very Lord of the Flies.
I would think that they would want to put that element in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that they might also be leading us to think that and go in a completely different direction.
We'll have to see.
But I am a better detective than some others, let's just say. And so far, 80% of my theories have been true, as opposed to 10% of theirs. So I hope you will subscribe and hit that bell button.
Please do.
We'll go down these roads together and figure this out, and we'll come into season 4. We'll come into season 4 together, friends.
Oh, and we're also working on, we might do like a live show where you guys can just, you know, we can talk back and forth. You guys can comment live and all that kind of stuff. So we're working on bringing that about. So
Possibly. Like I said, I am starting another channel up called Sensei Says.
Yep.
So check that out.
Subscribe to Sensei Says.
I'm going to post a couple quick videos on there just so you got a place to go and subscribe to that. If you would like to do that to help get that channel started out, I would appreciate it. Until next time, thank you.
And shameless plug, if you guys are into tarot readings, I just dropped a 1-card reading on shell spells, so please check that out.
Yeah, check out shell spells, check out Sensei Says, check it all out.
Stupid dial links, they're good too. Until next time, that's the buzz.
Good one, that's the buzz. And
Be mine.
I might actually release a part 2 to this show because there was a lot that went on in this show. And I just wanted to get all these questions answered and out there like as soon as the show is over, which is what I've done.
Yep.
So mission accomplished.
Edit and publish it, and it'll come to you.
See you next time.
So stay creepy.